Hello and welcome everyone to Last Level Press. I am Mr. Black and it's time for another weekly vlog. I've actually got a fair amount to talk about today, so let's dive right on into it. And you know what? I'm looking at my computer screen. Let's get the glasses off so that I'm not glaring all over the screen. That's a good start. Okay, so first off, I want to apologize for our basically total inactivity yesterday. Violeta and I were both drug off to a wedding, and it also happened to be my birthday, so that was magnificent. Yay for hanging out with people I don't know for an indeterminate amount of time, but at least I got free food out of the deal, so hey, that was cool. But I'm going to try to not let things like that happen again in the future, because I didn't really think about it until we were already there that, oh, this is really going to keep me from keeping up daily content, which I've really tried to make a goal over the last few months, and I've been able to really stick to without very many exceptions. I've been able to get at least one video up almost every single day for the last few months, and I want to keep that trend up. So that's actually why I'm going to spend the majority of this afternoon after I film, render, and upload this, recording a bunch of episodes for a bunch of different things. I'm going to try to get a few more episodes of Let's Play S.T.A.L.K.E.R up. I might do a couple of indie games. I've got a couple of mod spotlights I want to do, because I want to build up kind of a buffer of content so that if anything comes up, I've always got one or two sort of excess videos that I can always upload if need be. So hopefully I won't have to deprive you guys of daily content ever again. That's the goal. Now, another quick update is that we are indeed still shopping around for our replacement computer build. We have indeed decided to build our next rig instead of buying a pre-built, because really for our needs, that's just the best way to go. We can get more power for less money, and we can really get exactly what we need and what we want out of it. So for just a little bit of a preface for you guys, we already know, because these are the two things that we really just are completely inflexible on. They have to be in the build. We need an i7, preferably a quad-core processor, so that's going to be in it. And I'm also looking at what exactly was the full name of it. It's a GeForce 780 Ti. From what I understand from a bunch of different people I've looked at, and also looking at a couple of other YouTubers, known computer builds, like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, both of them, I believe Jack does, use this video card, and I've read a bunch of different reviews on it, and it seems to be essentially the best video card available on the consumer market within a mile of our price range. It's like $500, but I don't want to spend $2,000 on just a video card, and that's really the next leap. So that's the best feasible option for us. So those two pieces, I can at least assure you, will be on our next computer rig. So we will be able to finally be able to present you guys with game footage with, you know, settings cranked to the max, so that we can really show off the titles that we spotlight, that we review. That way you can get the most relevant look at the gameplay that we're showcasing whenever we give it to you. Another quick little note that I do want to bring up is to thank you guys. In my last vlog, or no, not my last, the vlog before last, my last one was ranting yet again about YouTube, but the one before that, my state of the channel, as it were, I asked you guys for a lot of input, and I was really, really positively, pleasantly surprised by just how much feedback I actually got from you all, our audience. And it really gave me a lot of food for thought. It actually kind of shifted and revised a little bit of the direction that I wanted to take things in. It let me know exactly what you guys liked, what you don't like. Pretty much everybody, with one exception, I believe, voiced that what brought them to our channel was some manner of mod or independent, you know, spotlight video that we did, whether it was a mod review, mod spotlight. A lot of people were brought in by the last days, but a lot of others were brought in by a bunch of my Fallout New Vegas material. Others were brought in by indie titles that I've covered. And that really seems to be the consensus. People really seem to like that, so I want to continue to deliver that. That's why I'm going to continue to do some more mod spotlights. And that'll actually make for a convenient little segue, because to let you guys know a bit more of what I'm currently working on, I've mentioned several times in the past couple of weeks that I've been working on, sort of in the background behind other projects, the more regular episodes for things, a full-on, long-term, full-length review for the Mountain Blade mod Star Wars Conquest. Some of you guys may be wondering, where is that? You keep mentioning that. I'm working on it, don't worry. It's just to keep up other daily content and work on a big long project like that, because it's probably going to come in at about a half hour long. It's time consuming, but thankfully tomorrow is when the full my face shots, my headshots, can actually finally start to get filmed. I finished up the script for it. I think I've collected an adequate amount of footage for it. So once I do my actual recitation video filming for the script for that, then I can finally start editing all of that together, which hopefully, once I really get into it, shouldn't take more than a couple of days, and finally upload that for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially to preface this for you guys that actually enjoy the vlogs. I like to kind of give y'all a little bit more of an idea of what's to come, sort of insider knowledge. The intro for Star Wars Conquest is one of the most ambitious things that we've done yet in any of our editing projects for some of these. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to the filming of it. So you guys you've got to keep tabs on it because it's going to be really, really fun. And speaking of mod material, a couple of the other games that we are going to be spotlighting some more material for are first and foremost going to be Gmod. I recently bought that, as did Violeta, so we can start doing some more collaborative works like I know some of you guys have requested more of. We're definitely going to be doing some Gmod horror, which is going to be cool. And I also want to showcase a lot of the mod content available in the Steam Workshop for Gmod. I don't think a lot of people really do that, and that seems a shame because there's a lot of really, really cool work there. I know a lot of it is just imports of models from other games or free sources that have been rigged up to be animated, but hey, there's a lot of work that goes into that, and I want to pat those people on the back. I want to give them the exposure that they deserve, and share with you guys a lot more cool content for a really cool project. If you don't know, Gmod is more or less the physics sandbox engine based on Source, the Half-Life 2 engine, and it really thrives on its community in a really cool way because there isn't really a defined game to it. It's just an engine with a couple of very basic maps and the ability to spawn whatever you want in it and play around with physics. But people have done some really cool things with it. If you don't know about it, I encourage you to go and look up, especially like Markiplier and Lord Minion 77, Yami Mash, Manga Minx, RPG Minx, whatever you want to call her. They've all done a lot of really cool things, spotlighting some of the best features that people have created for Gmod, like Trouble in Terrorist Town, Murder, Stop It Slender. Those are all going to be things that we're going to be getting into in the near future as well. But like I said, I also want to spotlight some more of the stuff in the workshop. More conventional mod material, like what you guys may be more used to seeing from us, I am going to start. I've got 2 on my desktop waiting to be reviewed right now. Mods for Fallout 3 that I'm going to be getting back into. I just haven't played Fallout 3 in like a year, and I've finally kind of been more in the mood for it recently, so that's going to be coming up in the near future, as well as some more content for Skyrim. I know we promised that to you guys a while back, but I was unfortunately rather frustrated when I realized, after I kind of said that, it was sort of the same thing as what frustrated me about claiming that I was going to do a Let's Play of Serena, and then finding out that I couldn't. Well, my computer will play Skyrim smoothly, adequately, if I'm not running fraps. For some reason, with Skyrim, that just kind of pushes that last little bit over my GPU, and my Skyrim suddenly just becomes a slideshow if I try to record most places with fraps running. However, I will be able to show off some armor mods, maybe some race mods, if I record those in interior cells. So hopefully I will be able to do at least a little bit of Skyrim mod coverage in the near future. Violeta has expressed an interest in doing the same, so hopefully you'll see a little bit more variation of the 2 of our different styles of mod reviews and spotlights. And otherwise, as for a bit of channel news, I've been really excited over the last few weeks to have kind of started developing some contacts amongst game developers. We're starting to kind of get noticed, and that's really, really exciting. I was actually contacted a couple of weeks ago, as I mentioned in a couple of other videos, by the project lead or owner or whatever position he holds of WRF Studios, and he wanted me to give him some feedback and do a couple of videos on the game Bloodlust Shadowhunter, which if you guys have seen my first couple of episodes of, I'm a bit ambivalent about, and I offer some pretty strong criticism as well as praise. I always try to balance the good with the bad when I see them both, and I really have to praise Bill, the guy I've been interacting with, for how well he accepted my critique, because it wasn't just a, oh, okay, well, all right then, thanks, and then just being dismissive because I offered criticism. No, he was actually like, oh, okay, you see issues with the writing. Can you actually point out more of these? Can you show me where some of these examples are so I can really actually work with these and fix them and improve them? So that's a man who's really looking for good, honest, legitimate feedback, and I have to respect that, because too many people, I think, reach out for others to, touch on their work, and all they're really looking for is just praise. They're just looking for a pat on the back. They say they want feedback, but they don't really. This guy does, and I have to respect that. I really do. So, as I said in the second video covering that game, I do want to feature more of it because it is really cool. But out of respect for Bill, since he did ask for really significant feedback and not just basic coverage, not just first impressions, I'm going to sink a little bit more time into the game and really try to sink my teeth into it, as it were. Vampire game. That way I can really start to offer more meaningful insight into the game as opposed to just surface observations. Now, most exciting of all of this, I've been like chomping at the bits to reveal this bit of news. It absolutely made my morning, and you will know why I'm about to upload after I record several of the episodes that I'm about to record and upload, and why. That came out really clunkily, but I'm just so excited that my words, they're all trying to vie for who's gonna come out first. Anyway, on one of the videos that I made for Black and Stir, the Making of a Mage, I was actually contacted by Paradox Interactive. Yeah, the publisher of the game. That's amazing. The publisher of Magical Wizard Wars actually found our channel, my series, and liked it enough, respected what I had to say enough to subscribe to our channel to hear my further input on the development of that game. And that just humbled the hell out of me. I was so excited because that's what I've been striving for. That's what I want. That's the participation in the gaming market and the community that I've really been wanting to achieve. So that's a step toward our future that I'm really, really excited about. Now, the cynic in me, if I were hearing someone else, say this, urges me to put you at ease that no, just because they found the series, just because they like it, just because Paradox has actually subscribed to our channel, that's awesome. That's not going to affect the way that I continue to review and critique that game in its development. I'm still going to call it out if I find flaws. It's not going to just make me, fearful of reproach. I'm still going to offer real criticism because that's why I founded this company, this channel. Last Level Press is all about honesty. When I see a problem, I'll call it. When I see something good, I'll call it. That's what too many people don't do. A lot of people like to just buy into hype. They get too afraid of, making enemies, of stepping on toes, of upsetting people. I'm sorry, in the journalistic field, you have to call out the good and the bad in equal measure so that everybody can make progress, so that people can realize what they do wrong, so that they can be better than themselves, so that their projects can achieve the potential that they have, all of the potential in the world to actually live up to. That's what I want to help people do. That's what I really want this channel to be a driving force for. And like I said, it made my morning to basically be paid the compliment of we like what you have to say enough to want to hear more of it by one of my favorite publishing companies in the world. Paradox Interactive are the same people who published Mountain Blade, even though I understand that their relationship with Tale Worlds, the actual developers of that game, may have been a bit rocky. I don't know the details there, but they're the publisher of that series. They're also the publisher of Magica, of Magical Wizard Wars. These are some of my favorite games of all time, so to get their input and approval is just incredibly humbling and exciting to me. Now, speaking of our plans for the future, as it were, since this is sort of taking us in that direction, know that we are still, of course, always going to strive to entertain and to inform you all in equal measure. I don't just want to be like a stand-up comedian, and that's not to knock anybody else. That's just not necessarily the style that I want to go for. I want to entertain you guys, but I also want to inform your decisions. I want you to make better choices on what you do with your time and with your hard-earned money based upon what I spotlight. Now, one thing that I do want to mention, as some people, mostly amongst my friends, have kind of brought it up to me, and it's something that I want to make clear to you all, just to get it onto the table right out of the gate so that nobody is confused. I'm never going to cover a game just to get views. That's creating videos and content for the wrong reasons. Yes, this is a business, but when you start looking at things formulaically, when you just start looking at the numbers, a lot of the spirit and the soul and the quality tends to leak out of other YouTube channels and products, and not just beyond YouTube, but or not just within YouTube, but beyond it, anything really. As soon as it just becomes about the business, that's when a lot of the heart leaves things like this. So even if, like, say some series for some game becomes really, really popular, if I don't feel it anymore, if I start getting bored of the game, if I don't feel like I can bring any more quality content regarding it to the table for you guys, I'll shelf that series, because I don't ever want to force things and feel like I'm just selling out, even to you guys, for the sake of making a check. Like I said, that's doing things for the wrong reasons. We are doing this as a business, but we want to do it as a moral one, as an ethically solid one, and that's my promise to you guys. For better or worse, I will only cover and record those games that I feel like I can bring quality material to the table for you all with. Now, one last thing that I want to cover before I wrap this vlog for the week is sort of a looking toward the future, in keeping with the whole theme of what I've been discussing here. The current house that Violeta and I are living in does not necessarily have magnificent wiring. Our connectivity is not the greatest, and our internet tends to fluctuate really wildly in its speed. It's why I don't necessarily do a whole lot of online material. Black&Stir is really, that and Smite, the only two games that I really focus on for multiplayer, and those, you may notice, aren't necessarily FPS games where you need a razor-sharp connection to do. We are, however, going to be hopefully getting, in the next few months, or maybe even weeks, some of the wiring redone here in the house, so that we will be able to get a better connection. We're also going to look at refiguring our cable packages for our internet connection to maybe hopefully get a higher speed connection. And what all of that means for you is that we will, sometime in the near future, I can't give you a definite date because I just don't know, but as soon as I will, I'll of course update you all on that, be doing live streams. I've been doing my homework. I want to go through twitch.tv, and I will very likely be streaming on Friday evenings. Now, there are several reasons I want to aim for Friday. For one, most of our viewers, since we do have a pretty large American audience, so sorry European people, most of our viewers are going to be off the next day, which means they can stay up late with us. We're going to stream as long as we've got a significant audience, very likely, because I'm a night owl. I'm up until 5 or 6 in the morning every day, so I'll stay up as late as you guys want me to on our streaming days. But that said, being Friday, it won't necessarily interfere with the weekend proper. So if you've got something you want to go and do on Saturday or Sunday, I don't want to get in the way of that. I want you guys to live a life. I don't want you to feel like, oh, but I really like this channel, so I got to stay home and I got to watch them. No, hell no. Go do what you want to do. But hang out with us on Fridays if you want, because I think most people are probably going to go out to do things on Saturday. So go do that. Hell, I'm going to do that. So, like I said, that's a lot of why I want to aim for Friday. I also think it'll help to kind of end the week on a high note, because I can think of little that will very likely just improve my mood, that'll really give me some solid closure to each week, than interacting with you guys, our audience, and helping to bring in new people and hearing what you guys have to say in real time. I want to do these vlogs and I want to get your feedback, in the comments here, but that's not real time. I want to actually converse with you guys. That's the real big driving force in my wanting to do live streams. It's to have fun with you guys, our fans, our audience, and to really get solid conversations going between us. I know some of you guys are going to watch this and you've never commented on any of our videos. I don't hold that against you. I'm just observing. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here. But there's probably a good number of you guys that have never commented but like what we do and won't even comment on this. But if you were basically in what amounts to a chat room sort of setting, the way that the Twitch chat box really works, you would actually interact there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I just think more people will actually be willing to really interact in that kind of setting, which is why I want to start doing that. Now, all of that is going to lead us toward my most ambitious thought for the future yet. And that is to follow in the really, really positive footsteps. As I mentioned in the last S.T.A.L.K.E.R episode, but in retrospect, I felt like it definitely merited a mention here in a vlog, because I think more people will see this than necessarily watch my S.T.A.L.K.E.R Let's Play. But I want, in the future, once we reach a level of sustainability for us, to essentially make use of whatever excess we really generate in terms of revenue, activity, beyond what we need to keep lights on, to keep a roof over our head, to keep food on our table. I want that to start going toward charity, because I'm amazed and just I'm humbled to be sort of amongst the same career path of some really, really good people like Markiplier, like I mentioned before, like Yami Mash, Lord Main 777, MySkirm, Bob, Wade, Mark. I'm a big fan of those guys. I've made no illusions about that. I really, really like their work, but I also like them as people, and I like the precedent that they're setting. They're doing good, very good things with their audience, with their viewership, and even with their own money. So I want to start doing charity live streams as soon as that really becomes a feasible thing for us to plan for. I don't just want to interact with the gaming community. I want to interact with everybody. I want to do good things for the world, not just for this market, not just for this community, because there's a lot of good that can be done. Mark and his friends and his guys, they've raised several $100,000, and that's astounding. And it always amuses me when I mention that to folks of an older generation, and just say, oh yeah, by the way, a bunch of gamers raised a couple $100,000 for such and such charity, for cancer research, for going towards a children's charity. And they go, well, how are they doing that? They're just sitting around playing video games all day. Well, there's more to it than that. The world is expanding, and entertainment is starting to branch in ways that, short of the last 5 years, nobody ever thought would ever happen. And I want to help really push that forward. I want to be a good driving force right alongside those guys and catch up to them and do good things for good people who need it, who can't get it otherwise. Those are my plans for us. I don't just want us to be successful business-wise. I want us to sort of be successful spiritually, ethically, morally, however you want to put it. And no, this isn't just me, white knighting, trying to make myself look good. No, I genuinely, I want to help people, because that's a lot, as I mentioned before, of why I, for a while, worked in law enforcement. And even though that did definitely feel like I was helping people, I didn't feel like I would be me if I stayed there much longer. It was a very, very negative atmosphere to work in, because, I mean, let's face it, when you're dealing with, the most disruptive, lower 5 to 10% of the population all day, every day, that takes a toll on you. And as I told several different employers as I was interviewing for different jobs after I left that particular job, everybody always looks at you a little funny when you say you used to work for a sheriff's department, for good reason. Everybody's, well, why don't you anymore? Did they kick you out? And pretty much everybody makes that assumption. And really, the best, most concise way I learned how to put it was, I don't want to be the same guy 10, 20 years from now that I saw that a lot of my old coworkers were. They were old, bitter, jaded old men, because they just worked around so much negativity for so many years. I don't want to be that guy. So that's why I left that particular job field. But I've missed, since working in the private sector like this, that feeling of my work actually meaning something, that I was actually helping anybody, that what I was doing was positive, like I wasn't just making someone else money, or just making me money. I don't care about the money, only insofar as I need it to keep alive, to eat, to keep walls and foods and lights. I don't really need much more beyond that. I don't have expensive taste. So that's something I've been missing, and this, I think, will really help in my ability to feel like I'm able to help people again. That's what I want, and that's what I really want for this channel to really start driving toward. So, as usual, I'm repeating myself. again. But that's the nature of these vlogs. I don't script these, I just have my little talking points over here, and I glance back and forth as I go, to keep me from going totally ADD off into random land. But that's really all that I wanted to share with you guys today. I know this is a somewhat long vlog, but thank you for sticking around if you're still here watching. So, as always, I wish you all good gaming and Godspeed. I'm Mr. Black here at Last Level Press. Thank you for sticking with us. Please share us around if you enjoy what we do. I love all of you, and I wish you all, I mentioned this once before, I'm repeating myself again, even here at the end. Good gaming, everyone, and Godspeed.